In the Premier League, Arsenal unexpectedly lost 2-1 to Aston Villa. The hosts' 2 goals were scored by Mays in the 36th minute and Emiliano Buendia in the 90th minute. Meanwhile, the Gunners scored through Leandro Trossard in the 52nd minute. Arsenal failed to widen the gap with Manchester City. Meanwhile, Villa now sits in the top 3 European places. Elsewhere, Manchester City managed to beat Sunderland 3-0 at Etihad Stadium. Pep Guardiola's protégé scored goals from Ruben Diaz in the 31st minute, Josko Guardiola in the 35th minute, and Pilvoden in the 65th minute. The Citizens are now 2 points behind Arsenal, while Sunderland has just dropped from 7th place. Meanwhile, Liverpool avoided death after holding Liverpool to a 3-3 draw. The Peacocks' 3 goals were contributed by Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the 73rd minute, Anton Staff in the 75th minute and Otanaka in the 90th minute +6. Meanwhile, the Reds scored goals thanks to press Hugo Eki in the 48th and 50th minutes and Dominic Szoboszlai in the 80th minute. The lead is now perched in 17th place while Liverpool is in 8th place. Moving to La Liga, Barcelona won big 3-5 when they first visited Real Betis's home. Paranter was the star in this match with a hat-trick contribution in the 11th, 13th, and 40th minutes. These 3 points widened Barça's gap with Real Madrid to 4 points, while Betis was stuck in 5th place. Victory was also achieved by Athletic Bilbao after silencing Atletico Madrid 1-0. The hosts' only goal was made by Alex Berenguer in the 85th minute. This result made Bilbao move up to 7th place while Atletico failed to advance to the Serie A. Position: Inter Milan returned to the top of the standings after crushing Como 4-0. Lautaro Martinez scored in the 11th minute, Marcus Thuram in the 59th minute, Hakan Calhanoglu in the 81st minute, and Carlos Augusto in the 86th minute. Derrisari now takes the top spot from AC Milan, while Como remains in 6th place. Moving on to Major League Soccer, Inter Miami successfully won the 2025 MLS Cup after defeating Vancouver for Whitecaps 3-1. The key to this victory was the extraordinary contribution of their megastar, Lionel Messi. La Pulga was instrumental in providing 2 important assists for Rodrigo Paul and Tadeo Holande's goals. Reported by Beanspot, this victory marked Inter Miami's first MLS title in the club's history. Not only that, this title also served as a special farewell for Sergio Basque and Jordi Alba, who will retire. Now we move on to news from England. Mohamed Salam shocked the European football world with his latest statement to the media. Citing The Sun, he wrongly accused Liverpool and Arnaud Slot of deliberately trying to get rid of him. He admitted to being disappointed because he only sat on the bench in the last 3 matches without an explanation from the coach. Salah feels the club has broken its promise and accused someone of deliberately making him a scapegoat for the team's declining performance. His relationship with the Slot is said to have broken down. Manchester United is faced with the prospect of a player swap involving Marcus Rashford in the summer of 2026. According to Football Insider, the Red Devils have reportedly received a signal of a player swap offer from Paris Saint-Germain. The French Giants will reportedly offer Bradley Barca to acquire Rashford from UEFA. PSG is using this to beat off interest from Barcelona, who are willing to make Rashford's move permanent. Meanwhile, for Mu, this maneuver could be an ideal solution to acquire a quality young player. Infuriated by recent rumors, Arsenal has spoken out about the transfer of Ben White. Reporting from the Heart Tackle, Maria emphasized that he has no intention of releasing Ben White in the upcoming winter transfer window. Management will always reject all offers received in discussions with Mikel Arteta. White is considered to play a crucial role as an all-round defender who is still needed in critical situations. Previously, the 28-year-old defender was linked with Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, Marcelo, and Como. Still on the subject of Arsenal, their back line is increasingly in danger after the injury suffered by Christian Mosquera was revealed. According to The Standard, Mosquera suffered an ankle injury in the match against Brentford. Initial tests indicate that Mosquera is at risk of being out for at least 6 weeks. Therefore, the Valencia player is likely to miss most of the January schedule. Mikel Arteta said Mosquera's injury increases the workload on the back line. During a brief stop in Spain, Joan Laporta revealed that there are plans to name a Barcelona stadium after Lionel Messi. Reported by Tribal Football, the report confirmed that the club had considered renaming Camp Nou after Lionel Messi. However, the ambitious idea was ultimately rejected because it was deemed inappropriate to name a stadium after a living person. Instead, Blaugrana plans to honor Messi and his contributions with a statue. After being confirmed to have suffered a serious injury to his left thigh muscle, Trent Alexander-Arnold posted a message of sorrow on social media. According to Gold, Trent expressed his disappointment over the tragedy that befell him in the match against Athletic Bilbao. The former Liverpool player is also saddened by the fact that he will not be able to play for the next 2 months. This condition makes his chances of appearing at the 2026 World Cup with England very slim. Despite this, the Trent is determined to return stronger next year. From Spain to Italy. Cesc Fabregas' future as a coach is starting to be revealed towards the end of 2025. Quoted from Calcium Mercato, Fabregas is reportedly closing the opportunity to coach another club in Italy. This was chosen out of respect for Como, which has given him a great opportunity to develop his potential. The former Arsenal midfielder is now reportedly starting to look for opportunities abroad, where Fabregas is linked with 2 top European clubs, namely Barcelona and Manchester City. Roberto De Zerbi seems to be starting to open the door to the opportunity to return to SA next year. Reporting from Food Italia, De Zerbi expressed his desire to return to Italy and coach there. Although currently De Zerbi is successful in the league with Olympique Marseille, who is open to the opportunity to coach again in Serie A so far, Lazio is rumored to be interested in pursuing a collaboration with the former Praxedin coach. Bianco Celesti reportedly no longer supports Mauricio Sarri as a coach. Flying to the United States. Following the draw for the group stage, FIFA has released the complete list of schedules and venues for the 2026 World Cup. According to The Independent, all 2026 World Cup schedules and venues will be accessible and available starting December 6, US time. This way, fans can easily find out when their countries will compete and which venues will be used. The 2026 World Cup will open on June 11, 2026, at Azteca Stadium, Mexico City, and the final is scheduled for July 19, 2026, at MLife Stadium, New Jersey. Furthermore, news about Indonesian foreign players continues. Rumors regarding AC Milan's interest in CIZ are growing. There are even rumors that some players will be displaced and potentially leave due to the arrival of ISES. Bolanet reported that if the transfer takes place next January, IES could immediately fit into coach Massimiliano Allegri's 3-man defense. The Indonesian national team captain will likely replace Fikayo Tomori. ISES is predicted to be more flexible than Tomori. Meanwhile, in the Super League, Persija is now in danger of becoming a traveling team again due to the ongoing pitch issues at the Jakarta International Stadium. According to Bola Spot Rumbo, the stadium has not fully recovered after being used for concerts. As a result, the Kemayoran Tigers' home turf for upcoming matches remains uncertain. It is possible that Persija will not be able to return to the SIS until the end of the season, given the relatively slow progress of grass repairs. Having previously been on Arsenal and Chelsea's radar, Ayoub Bowadi has instead signed a new contract with Liverpool. According to the Chelsea Chronicle, the 2 London clubs had been monitoring Ayoub for several months. Both planned to make a move in January. However, Ayoub instead signed a new contract first. He is now under contract with Liverpool until 2022. This makes it increasingly difficult for Arsenal and Chelsea to sign him. Liverpool could sell him for a high price next year. Girl reports that Saudi Arabia is very serious about the matter. Money and a proposal have been prepared. They will make a move in January, but with one condition. Reportedly, Saudi Arabia will only contact Liverpool if Mo Salah is willing to move to Saudi Arabia. Otherwise, Saudi Arabia will not take any further action. Salah will be placed at Al Hilal. He will replace Neymar as the main striker. Exil D. Sassy, who is currently outcast at Chelsea U21, will use the winter transfer window to leave the club. According to L'Equipe, Lyon is the club showing interest in the Aston Villa player. Reportedly, D. Sassy is entering a new project with Hendrick, who is on loan from Real Madrid. The scheme will be the same as Hendrick. Lyon will submit a loan proposal to Chelsea, but will include a buyout clause at the end of the loan period. Crystal PLS has added another name as a potential replacement for Makaehi next season. According to Football Insider, the latest name Oliver Glessner wants is Max Kilman from West Ham. According to reports, West Ham United manager Nuno Espirito Santo will reportedly undertake a major overhaul in January. Several players will be brought in and those not included in the plan will be released. Kilman is reportedly not in Nuno's plans. Therefore, Pales is moving to secure his signature. Moving to Italy, there is Destiny Udogie, who is reportedly starting to feel uncomfortable in London. He wants to return to Sharia law if the opportunity arises. As reported by Football Italia last September, Udogie was involved in a very traumatic encounter in London. The SPS defender was allegedly threatened with a gun by a football agent. This tense situation made him uncomfortable. He continued to be anxious and unable to focus on playing football. Therefore, he wanted to return to Italy. Reportedly, Juventus was open to taking Udogie. However, no concrete steps have been taken by Juve. Jazz F.A. Breas just revealed that last summer Como almost signed Petr Cech and Luis Henrique. However, both chose Inter Milan instead. As reported by Football Italia, Fabregas is proud of this moment, because it means Como's tastes are the same as Inter's. In other words, the Como scouting team is now on par with Inter. Como is only less popular. Pragas is confident that with a slight improvement in the quality of negotiations, Como can compete with Italy's top teams in player transfer matters. Italy is over. We'll move to Spain. Barcelona seems to be on edge because back in Nico's clutter his backer does not make La Blaugrana a priority. According to Football España, the Borussia Dortmund defender is more interested in a move to Bundesliga rivals Bayern Munich. However, his move to Munich will depend on the departure of Dayot Upamecano. Meanwhile, if he has to move to Spain, Nico is reportedly more interested in a move to Real Madrid than Barcelona. Also from Barcelona, the club has announced a contract extension for Eric Garcia. According to Football España, the 24-year-old is out of contract in the summer, but has been a key player for Flick over the past year. Garcia has also rejected PSG's approach in favor of staying at Barca. Therefore, Garcia was rewarded with a new contract. Reportedly, the player will stay at Barça until 2031, as Barça tied him to a 5.5-year contract. During the 2026 World Cup draw, Gianni Infantino confirmed that the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup final in the United States would break with tradition. They would hold a halftime show modeled after Super Bowl. However, ESPN reports that neither FIFA nor Infantino provided details on whether the World Cup final would have an extended halftime break to accommodate the event. Goldplay vocalist Chris Martin will certainly help FIFA organize the halftime show. He will also assist FIFA in compiling the list of performers for the event. Good news from the Football Association of Indonesia, PSSI. As reported by CNN Indonesia, 3 PSSI representatives to interview candidates for the Indonesian national team coach in Europe have returned to Jakarta. The 3 representatives sent by PSSI are Technical Director Alexander Sewers and 2 Executive Committee members, Mohammed and Andri Erawan. They will be in Europe for a week. Therefore, a COCO meeting to discuss candidates for the Indonesian national team coach will be held soon. However, the time has not been finalized. In accordance with the organizational mechanism or statutes of the TPSSI, the appointment of the Indonesian national team coach will be agreed upon at an EXCO meeting.